Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker. This is WPwatercooler, episode number 87. Man, we're closing in on 100, huh? So today we're going to be talking about WordCamp Miami 2014 and all the things that happened. Let's going to go around the room here real quick and get everyone introduced. We're going to start with David. David, tell us a little bit about yourself and that awesome mug that you were just holding up.
I'm one of the organizers of WordCamp Miami. I'm also running on 3 hours sleep.
Nice.
That'll be fun for us.
It's going to be great. Glad to be here.
Drink the coffee. Raquel, tell us about yourself.
I'm Raquel Landefeld, and I'm admin for Codiel, which we're rebranding to the Mode Effect, so that way Cody stays Codiel and the company has a new name.
Nice.
And I volunteered. I was the the speaker coordinator for WordCamp Miami. It was awesome.
Very nice. How about you, Rick?
I'm Rick Solari at ricksolari.com and everything on the web. I'm a video guy, but I'm really a jack of all trades. This year I was more a spectator/volunteer this year than a real organizer, whereas last year I was an organizer. And yeah, it was a great year this year. Good stuff.
Sweet. We'll talk about that in just a sec. Say, did you see that Rick was almost going to steal your wording there?
Yes.
Tell us about yourself, my dear.
So my name is Say, and I am on the Twitter at SayReadMedia, and I do WordPress stuff all over the everywhere. And I was not at WordCamp Miami.
Boo.
Jason, do we next.
That's not a sin.
All right, Steve.
I'm Steve Zengen. I'm the founder of Zeek Interactive, and I lead the OC WordPress meetup.
Nice. Suzette.
I'm Suzette Frank. I'm the WordPress evangelist over at Media Temple, and I was sat on the podcasting panel along with like epic people. It was awesome, and I also helped with the kids camp at Miami, which was also fun. And I got this beautiful thing for my podcast, WP Unicorn Project, which runs on Thursdays.
I was hoping you were going to hold that up. You got some hardware, man.
It's
some good stuff right there.
It's totally legit. I love that idea. That was just such a nice touch. As there was so many nice touches in my
hell. Jason, where are our statues?
We don't have any statues, unfortunately. Sorry.
I would like to file a complaint somewhere. I'm going to file it on Twitter. Hold on.
Sam wants a statue of her. Okay.
Yes.
This is true. She has to hand those out to everybody on the show.
that would be our water cooler trophy. It would just be a statue of Say.
Say, holding up something.
Like that.
A W. She's holding a W, you know?
I'd be like, WordCamp Miami in the house. Hey, so speaking of WordCamp Miami, I didn't go, but I was a super Twitter lurker. It was one of the first times I've ever really, like, followed a hashtag, if you know what I mean.
What things did you pick up? What things did you pick up? I'm curious because I didn't get a chance to see.
Yeah, you know what's fun is you pick up a lot of drama.
What?
What drama?
Please go on.
No, you do. It's just like you get the social aspect of it. So it's like I felt kind of voyeuristic, but like you see what people are saying and their comments about speakers, so you get a lot of like speaker feedback. But it's interesting. I've not done it before like that, and it was really kind of fun actually. I was like, what are they doing over there?
Did you use the WP Armchair website that David built to check that out?
No, I was on my phone and I couldn't.
There's actually an app for that now for the WP Armchair. I was talking to Brian Messenleiner.
Brian Schleifen. Yeah.
You mean Brian M. is his name?
The mess.
So what drama did you see on the Twitter, if you will?
Oh, I don't know. Go search your hashtags, man.
Oh, okay.
I looked at the hashtags. I'm trying to figure out, too, what drama you're referring to.
No, it's not drama. It's not like there's a drama. It's just you see the social aspects of WordCamps. You see people's feelings, like, like how they felt about stuff. Like, so it's like, it's not just the academic or like, it's not necessarily bad. It's just like, oh, I like this or I didn't like that or I don't know. You get people's feelings. When I'm at a WordCamp, I don't follow the hashtag as much because I try to like be in the now and stuff. But and self-censorship. But so it was fun. I don't know. It was different. And then you see who's like trending Twitters, and it gives you a whole different perspective.
The WP Armchair captured 3,600 tweets and 1,500 photos or something like that. So So if they captured that much, you must have saw a lot on Twitter.
Oh, all I know is that the Finnegan's after party was a success.
Yes.
That's that much I know. I was like, damn, people be having fun.
Like we be having fun. Like the party itself, we had so many elements this year, but like one thing, my favorite at the after party, besides the free drinks.
After party?
Yeah,
Besides
the
the
after
party.
party. We had a photo booth at the after party, and we took photos. Like,
Nice.
this is such an awesome idea. So my hats off to David and the rest of the team. Like, amazing right here.
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun. Like,
There's a lot of those film strip pictures online now.
I kind of want to know what's in that picture, because you're like, it's a lot of fun. And then you like held it up, and I'm like, I don't know if we're talking about the same kind of fun.
Let me hold it up here for everybody. Let's see. So
that's some craziness. That's really cool.
Some fun stuff.
We'll be posting.
Maybe.
We'll be posting everybody's pictures. By the way, we got.
All right, so.
I
didn't know
I was
that.
like, no.
You mean if I'm on camera, I can end up on the web?
You guys, I want to hear about the talks. What I heard, for example.
Oh, there was learning going on?
Friend of the show, Rebecca Gill, did her first talk. She's from somewhere in the north with the cold is. And then she went to Miami.
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan, sure.
Where's the cold?
Where the cold is. And she did her first talk early Saturday morning. And
first one, yeah.
How was that? What was the talk on?
It was on being the peacock.
Peacock.
Be the peacock.
What?
We just
online branding. It was online branding for brand new.
I'm confused. We have too many animals involved in this. Unicorns, peacocks.
Unicorns and peacocks. It's the new trend, man.
Yeah.
Doolittle.
Animalia.
It's all about unicorns and
So
peacocks.
at some point, people are going to have to understand how to speak to the animals that we have tried to bring into this entire environment.
All right, wait. So what is the peacock dealio?
Yeah, tell us about it.
The peacock has to do with go ahead, David. Sorry.
No. You're better. You're better at this.
Oh no, you. No, you. No, somebody, please.
No, you.
Just answer the question.
She talked a lot. She talked a lot about some of the hurdles that she had to overcome to actually become who she was and become the brand. So it was a really good talk, and I think it was presented in the user track, but I think it applies to everybody that has a web presence. It was such a great talk, and it was so relevant to a lot of people and a lot of great information in there.
Yeah.
What else was in the user track? The user track's my favorite.
Aww.
Even though
we had a 14-year-old.
Like,
We had a 14-year-old.
Let me go back to my schedule.
We had a 14-year-old talk about the next generation of bloggers after lunch. Anna Tunnel. She was our youngest person ever to speak at WordCamp Miami, and probably one of the youngest to speak at any WordCamp, I would think.
Cool.
Was she like,
I think she's 14.
Suck it, old people. That's what she said, is what I would have said if I were her.
Look, I can do this better, you people.
It's important to get you people like this. It's important to get the next generation involved in these WordCamps. And I'm not just talking about Kids Day. I mean, like actual track stuff, because they're going to be the ones that us old people are going to be looking on. And if we don't realize what they're using and how they're viewing blogging and everything else, we're going to get caught with our proverbial pants down.
And that is a felony, so don't do that. Holy smokes.
Nick V did speak. He's 14, and he spoke at Minneapolis, and it was awesome. And I thought Anna and Nick should meet because they're both like awesome 14-year-olds.
That's a startup right there.
I think my swimmer's daughter is going to be the first one that's going to be the youngest.
Nick and the girl you just mentioned sitting in a tree.
Nick and Anna. No, that's terrible.
No pressure, no pressure, no pressure.
This show is about matchmaking, apparently.
We're bringing people together.
It's definitely taken a weird turn, yes.
All right, back from that track.
How many days was this first? Let's get that kind of cleared up a little bit here.
Wait, what?
Depends on how you count it. We had a pre-party Thursday night. We had buddy camp and the beginners workshop on Friday, and then we had the full weekend. So it depends on how you count.
Gotcha.
So like maybe
I
4
generally
days?
count in decimals.
We actually had 3 parties. We had the pre-party on Thursday. It was actually our anniversary party. It's our 5th anniversary. And then we had the VIP on Friday night, and then we had the networking party on Saturday. So.
Oh wait, it's a networking party, not an after party.
Wow.
Are we
A lot of
rebranding?
people-
It's a network after party. How about that?
I'll
You can
network
call it-
your after party.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
call it whatever you want, but after party, like ours is more like a family-friendly type of thing, and we want to focus on the networking part of it. And we do serve alcohol too, so it could be whatever you want.
Which, you know, gets
With
the
a
vibe.
pool and a river.
Okay, so back to the user track. So we had Rebecca and we had the 14-year-old awesomeness. So that's cool. What did the what are some of the other user tracks? Did you guys do a beginning type thing, or did you have a Friday day track also?
We had the Beginners Workshop Friday, and Saeed led that one, and I heard it went pretty well. I was in the buddy camp.
You had Saeed leading the beginners track. That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for I think 2 or 3 years now. He's got it down like to a science.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Zach Gordon and a couple of our more local speakers actually helped him out on that. I heard it was a very professional job.
That's exciting.
You guys know who the furthest traveled speaker was?
Some guy from Australia. I can't remember his name.
Well, Scott,
Wait a minute. You said speaker or attendee?
But let's go with both. What do you got?
Scott Barsgaard was there from Norway. Barsgaarden.
That could be,
I don't actually know how to say his last name.
that could be. I don't speaker wise. That's probably a good guess. I know an attendee was from Australia. I think that's about the first. I think that's literally the other side of the earth. So I think he won.
There was a lot of international.
There's especially from South America for obvious reasons. If you think about it, there's a lot of Spanish and English-speaking people from South America that don't apparently have a lot of WordCamps down there.
What about Cuba? Did you have any Cubans?
I'm not allowed to say. Maybe.
Oh.
No, you probably did. Nobody announced themselves as such.
Miami.
Miami. Whoa.
Are you referring to immediately coming from Cuba, or?
I don't mean the cigars. I mean where they're like.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
sure
like,
there were
wait,
Cuban
Chris is
people
here.
in the audience at WordCamp Miami, I'm sure.
Well, you could be indicted for like helping communism or something. I don't know, something like that.
Hey, Chris, how was your
Anyway,
Wow.
Oh yeah, hey Chris. How's
look
it
at
going?
Lemma joined us. Hashtag Lemma. That's a new thing. I'm starting it right now. Hashtag.
Hi,
Lemma.
Chris.
Don't.
I will say that Chris had an amazing talk/experiment going.
He did. It was the most unique format for a WordCamp talk ever. It was really.
What was it, guys? Tell me.
He had 13. Can I talk about it, Chris, or do you want to talk about it?
Go for it. Go for it.
Well, he did a different format. He had 13 tweets about pricing. So he normally does a lot of talking with picture slides, but on this he had slides with actual tweets for people to actually participate. So he would still talk, but the main point was a tweet, and it said, "Here, click here to tweet." I think that was in there. So it was awesome. So Twitter was like blowing up during his talk because there was 13 tweets about pricing. They were really great tweets, great tips.
And everybody needed to like tweet every single one of them to like the interweb, you know.
I think the 3,600 tweets that WP Armchair captured, I think half are for Chris.
Yeah.
It's true. I'm digging through them right now. It's like,
I must have missed that part of the stream. I didn't actually even see any of that. What the hell?
It was on
So
Sunday,
much for my.
so-
Oh, I was playing a show. That makes sense.
It was Sunday, so but I mean, what a great idea to like incorporate all of that and then have everybody in the room tweet at this very same time.
Yeah, so
Hey, Chris, next time you do that, I got some great ideas to integrate that into the audience. I'm sorry. Hey, go ahead. I interrupted you.
Yeah, no. I was just going to say there were about, I think I counted about 360, maybe 350, 360 people in the room, and I think, maybe 50 or 60 people did it, but when you have 50 or 60 people and they're tweeting 13 tweets each,
you do the math.
It's-
Because I don't want to do that math. You don't really do the math.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a media room. Like you know, in certain conferences they have a media room that they all like get on the same hashtag, or then they tweet the same thing, so that it's like coming from a lot of people in a conference.
Yeah.
But in this case, he just did it in the actual session, which was just brilliant. My hat's off to you.
Brilliant.
Wait, what? Chris knows something about branding? I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's bullshit.
Well, actually, the first question that Syed asked me was, did you put WCMIA in your tweets?
Oh.
And I'm like, what? Do you think I'm an idiot? Of course I put it there. Then he goes, okay. Then,
Now you're approved.
then it's
All
good.
right, so wait, let's talk a little bit about the dev track, because we talked about the user track. You guys had 2 tracks, right?
We had 3
on
tracks
Saturday.
on Saturday.
Holy free holies. What was the 3rd track?
So there was the design track, the users track, and the developers track. And I spent most of the time in the designer track, and
Because the girls are cuter?
Well, you know. But it was really, really good stuff. Like Tracy Rotten, I'm sorry. She talked about responsifying your website, or just in general. So she was talking about responsive websites and things like that. Really, really well done. We had Michelle talking about designing a successful website, and she went into some really cool stuff. Michelle over at Modern Tribe, and she gave out awesome water bottles. Like, these are like the nicest water bottles I've ever seen. Period. They're like nice and smooth and silky.
That's phrasing.
And then
Cody,
Cody Landerfield talked about user experience, and I got a lot from that. It was really well done.
It was a lot. It was probably because there was a lot of audience participation in Cody L's talk. I mean, people were like, "Yeah, I remember that," and they were like, "It was awesome."
Did you guys like the books that were inside the lanyards?
Yeah, the schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, if you're going to talk about the books, shouldn't you rub them against your face like Rick did the water bottle?
You have to. Come on, you have to do this.
I have to get paid first. That's what I learned from your talk, Chris. I haven't said how much I'm worth yet. So.
You're worth more than you think you're worth. That's what I learned.
So, like Cody's talk, for instance, he incorporated some 80s and even older stuff into his slides. And, like, remember the time when you had to, like, in Nintendo, you had to blow the cartridge? And how...
You mean blow
Who doesn't even remember that? What are you talking about?
Wow.
Who do you remember that?
Blow what?
Hey,
Steve.
There's some great clips from this episode.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Check, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be the mature and normal one?
Seriously, I haven't said a word this entire episode.
Yeah, you really haven't.
No,
I'm just watching the train leave the tracks.
We're flying off the tracks. Here we go.
All right, so there were other people talking. Anybody else? I didn't attend anything. I was behind the scenes. What else was interesting?
The homeschooler to hero from Mika Epstein. She talked about how just in case you guys are not like developers or like designers, that there is an area for you to like fit into the WordPress community. So there's things like support and like documentation and ways to actually be a part of a company, for instance, to like find your place, if you will. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to be really knowledgeable in code or really creative with design. That you kind of fill in the areas of what's needed in a company, which I thought was great, because I was like, ooh, that's totally me, because like I'm not a hardcore, developer, and I'm not really a full core designer, but I kind of fit some. Yeah,
I'm so appropriating that word.
I would like to. We had our first WordCamp for Kids on Sunday morning.
Oh yes.
It was the most amazing thing that I've seen in a long time. It's hard to describe. You have to see it for yourself. There's a room with 20 kids, and their parents are there, and you have like 4 teachers. Suzette, you were there, right?
I was helping out Tammy and Sarah Gooding and Catherine Pressner.
How did that compare to Phoenix, Suzette? I know you've done those a few different times now.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Tammy did a really good job. The theme of her slides was Minecraft, and I don't know very much about Minecraft, but kids love Minecraft. They just love it. And
Mine's a fiend.
Half of the class made their vlogs about Minecraft. So it was great. Everybody walked out with a blog. All the kids walked out with a blog. Mika was also there. She was helping out. That was awesome. She actually was diagnosing PC problems with Chrome and Internet Explorer to get one kid up and running. But we finally got her. She finally got her up and running. It was awesome.
They got cookies. They got T-shirts. They got a whole bunch. They got more swag than some of our attendees did.
Yeah.
They did. There was
candy. But isn't how awesome that is on a Sunday, because instead of parents having to try to find a babysitter, it's come with me to this awesome conference, and now you get to learn how to do what I do.
And it was Mother's Day. I wasn't expecting that much of a turnout on Mother's Day, but we kind of I thought, what would Chris Lima do?
Right.
Yes. And then I used
or Lena even.
Possibly.
What would Chris, whoever would do?
What would that Chris guy do?
There would be, what's a better way to be geeky and spend at least the first part of Mother's Day than to try to put some Mother's Day, make that first blog post about your mom. Share it that way. So.
Yeah.
Hey,
by the way, Chris.
Did you guys mention the Saturday lunch and the fact that you had 4 lines instead of 1, and that the barbecue was delicious again, and that this time there was no standing in the super long lines of the sun and waiting for lunch?
That was
I think we mentioned that. Yeah, we could have mentioned that.
I love our priorities. The parties were good, and the food was good, and the swag was good. So that's all.
So Chris, the food was good though, right? It was still.
The food was great. I'm saying the food was great. I'm just saying this time it was so much better because there were 4 lines instead of 1.
Yeah, we learned from our mistakes.
Yeah.
Chris is not a fan of waiting in line.
No.
Waiting.
I'm not.
So is the barbecue
He doesn't do that.
food?
I mean, what we did is we just recorded live, and people brought us food, and that ended up working out really well.
That is true. I did not actually personally stand in line last year. I just remember there was a line.
There was a line that you looked at.
I did, and this year there were 4.
I'm glad you endured from last
4 shorter lines this year.
Did you like the ice cream?
I loved the ice cream. I love the ice. You had a volunteer, so I finished my session on pricing, and then I went to the room next door, and about 40 people followed me to that room, and we did another 40 minutes in there. And
that was the secret talk. Okay.
And then, and then when that was done, I was like, hey, I need to go get in line to get ice cream. They said, no, don't worry about it. They moved the time and everything else. So I'm like, okay, because I really want to be first in line for the ice cream. Well, one of your volunteers was in that room when I said that. They went and got the ice cream as soon as it got there, and they had it hand delivered to me. It was awesome.
Weren't the volunteers the best? I mean, and Raquel, you're our. I just can't put into words how much we appreciated your help. And
yeah, she was there at like 6 in the morning or something.
Yeah.
It was insane.
She knew what pleasure. Yeah.
And it was actually last minute because we actually had someone supposed to do the majority of your work, and they couldn't make it. So I needed someone experienced in that position, along with you and Rick Tuttle. So I'm very glad for your help. But all the volunteers went above and beyond this year. It was amazing.
Yeah. They were great.
Isn't that just though like the WordPress community? It inspires itself to move ever higher.
Wait a minute, I gotta get that to music.
She's the supermodel of the volunteers.
We have 5 minutes left in the show. I want to bring it back around for one quick little question here, and this probably be something that we'll end up using the last 5 minutes up with. Is what would you do different for next year? You guys have done this for a number of years now.
Differently.
What's the thing you want to do differently?
Adverb.
Everly.
Well, something I think it'd be cool to do something like we've never done. Like this, the last 2 years we started doing the trading cards, and that was a big success the first year we did. But like trying to be creative to the nth degree, if you will, and taking it, something that brings back the fun of why we love this community, and this year we were very creative, like
But what didn't work? Like what didn't work?
Well, I think
confess your sins right now.
I'll tell you right now. This is what you want to hear. Okay, so the juice. All right, so the Sunday we had food trucks, and things like that. We thought, hey, food trucks is a great idea. We don't have to have food waiting. It's already there. But this year there were still long lines for the food trucks. So next year I think we have to have either longer, like more food trucks, or we had to have a new idea to make that work, because we had four food trucks, but they weren't fast enough. We had a lot of people.
The vegetarian truck was the longest, which was insane.
So as an organizer, answering that question, actually as an organizer, that was a lot better than last year.
Absolutely.
So we may do that again. There was some logistics involved. We were supposed to have 4 food trucks, but as I walk around like I did the previous years, I overhear people talking, whether they realize I'm there or not. And this year there was a lot less. I can't even think of anybody who was complaining in any major way anyway. But what I would do differently, though, this year was I think we're going to switch our after-party locations, try to come up with something different. But I think we've reached that fun level. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm seriously thinking next year of completely changing the format, maybe to something more developer-based, or maybe splitting the WordCamp into 2, or maybe making something a little bit smaller. I think going bigger and better, we've reached that limit, and it's hard to outdo yourself at that same level year after year. And Chris and I talked about this briefly a couple months ago, like maybe changing the format of WordCamp Miami a little bit so it's more focused to a particular group, or it's separated differently, or something along those lines. Like I would love to have a WordCamp Miami or the Work Developers Edition or something where it's just 200 people in an afternoon, single track, and it's almost one-on-one, going with some deep-level developer stuff. It's just an idea, but it's just a different format. We're not going to do bigger and better. I think we've reached our limit, and we want to try something completely.
Is that more of a physical capacity, or is that just there's just not enough resources to be able to pull off the whole thing?
I don't think it's a physical capacity. The venue that these guys got this year was absolutely fantastic, incredible. So I don't think the issue is actual capacity. I think the relational dynamics change when you get up to that much, that many people.
Scaling.
It's just hard.
It's impersonal instead of this community-based WordCamp where you can connect with your people.
I will say the one thing I would change, the one thing I do differently that other WordCamps could learn from if they were listening today, and that would be that the volume of the music at an after party should be low enough that someone who lives approximately half a mile away should not be able to hear it over their television. That's
an interesting metric.
It's just a good rule of thumb.
Or how about just that people are able to have a discussion, in without yelling and losing their voice.
Why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
It's not a networking party.
It was called a networking party.
Listen, if the biggest complaint of WordCamp Miami is how loud music was in an after party, I will take that as a win, and I take that.
I needed you to be my dance partner.
I'm sorry.
Another thing that we could probably make it better is, we had some technical things, and this year I'm going to step it up. This new year I'm going to step it up and make sure those technical things don't have any issues, like batteries going dead. Lapel mics as opposed to handheld mics. Things like just little things like that could just make the experience more professional and more polished, if you will.
There's always going to be problems, but if these are the problems that we're talking about, then I am so happy.
Awesome.
I'm so happy.
Hey, Rick,
we're all wrapping this bad boy up.
Hey, Rick, this is for you. My Pitfall cartridge isn't working. Hang on.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
David, Rick, all the rest of you, thank you very much for being on the show. See you guys later.
Thanks. It was great.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.